Hi everybody. I built this guitar body about a year ago or so, and we'd planned to do some wood burning on it, but some things happened. We never did get to do that. So I'm going to fabric cover this guitar. I've got some dinosaur fabric here I'm going to put on it, and I figured I'd share the process with you because I've done this one other time. I'm no expert in it, but I'll show you how it worked out for me. The other guitar I built was this one. This is the only other guitar that I've done a fabric cover on, and I think it came out pretty well. I see some spots I could have done better on, but I think that's more in the wood than in the fabric. I hate painting and sanding, and there's a lot of that involved, so. But I learned a lot in this process, and I'll try to share what I learned with you. So we'll take you through the process here. First thing, I've cleaned the body all up real good. This is made out of, I think I used pine on this, maybe. And I used 2 layers of some boards from some drawers from an old dresser. So this is made out of basically scrap wood furniture. So it's a good candidate for experimenting with. Now the other guitar, when I did it was not routed out, it was just cut in the shape, and I glued the fabric down on it and then routed it out. This is going to be different because this guitar has already been routed and everything. So I guess I'll get my tools over here and show you what we got to do. Okay, so when I did the top and did the demonstration, the overhead camera was not recording, so technical difficulties. We'll get to try this again. Thankfully I'm doing the back too, so I can go through it. It's doing the back's exactly the same as doing the front. So the first thing I want to do is position my material in the pattern I want. Let's see, this is going to be kind of like the top against my body, so let's see what we got here. I have quite a bit of material here, so see what kind of pattern looks good. What do we want showing more? I think we'll put this guy right here. See, there'll be a neck plate here. Let's move his nose over here. I think I'll kind of place, kind of like that. I got a little bit of everything on there, so I'm going to thread about there. So I'm going to cut my material off in a square bigger than the body. I don't have to be that much bigger. I want a little overlap off the edges when I glue it on. Sorry, my arm was in the way of the camera there probably. So that's how I want that. So I want to take, it's all been cleaned off, and spread some glue now. Now I don't want so much glue that it's going to bleed through the material. I'm just going to spread it out, try to get even coat all the way. I'm going to go all the way to the edge with it. It won't hurt if I overlap just a little bit, because I'm going to take the router and trim the edge of the material anyway. By the time I add all the coats of everything to it, the sanding sealer and all that, the material will actually cut pretty good with the router. I've got a pretty good thick glob of glue on it right now. Just want to get it all spread out here as evenly as I can and make sure it's all well covered. Some of these bare spots here. Oops, don't want to get any on my material. Okay. I'm going to take this roller here and kind of just level it out as much as I can so there's no humps or ridges run along it. And make sure I got a good coating of glue everywhere, no dry pockets anywhere. Looks like it makes air bubbles, but we will be layering it down so we'll get rid of those, I think. And go right around the edge there, I think. We got one spot there that needs a little cleanup. One thing good about tight bind glue is it cleans up really well with water. I think that's a spot there too, one or two spots. And this glue already feels like it's getting tacky a little bit, so the material should stick to it. I'm going to put that down where it's not going to make a mess. And now I can lay my material. Okay, I want this to be the top. And whoops, almost put it on upside down. That would not have been good. And I want these guys kind of right in the center of the body like this. I want a little bit of all the creatures on there. I'm just bare, see it's already sticking a little bit, so I don't want to get all of the wrinkles and everything. I want to stretch it out tight, but not so tight it deforms the image on the material. And take and smooth it out real good as best as I can. Kind of give it a little pull and smooth at the same time. You can see the material stretching a little bit. That's kind of what I want, so it'll be stretched out, no wrinkles, no bumps, no lumps. Get it around the edges good. I want to make sure that gets a good contact with that glue. But I don't want it bleeding through the material. I have seen videos where other people do it and they just glob so much glue on and they put it down and the glue seeps through the material, and it's a lot of work to try to get that back out. I've seen one where he was trying to do it with clear coat and I never did see the end result. But for me, this method works the best. Now what I will do, I'll let this dry. This glue set up for this probably an hour is good, but I'm gonna let it set probably 2 hours overnight, and then I'll get some sanding sealer and I'll be going over both sides of this with probably at least 3 or 4 coats of sanding sealer and a little sanding between each coat. That way the bumps in the material will kind of level out, and then when I put clear coat over the top of the sanding sealer, it can make a smoother surface. And I always like to just make sure I get rid of any little lumps there. And everything looks good and smooth and feels good and smooth. So there should be the fibers on the bottom soaking up the glue, so it should get a good adhesive. The top, which I'd already done, which the camera wasn't on, I checked it before I started this side, and I think I could, if I wanted to, pick the guitar up with the material. I'm not going to try that, but it feels like it's on there that well. And it should be. Once it's good and cured, I'd probably give it 24 hours before I tried anything like that. So, there's the first steps. And after this dries and everything, I'll go through and trim the edges off and then start adding the sanding sealer. So, catch you in the next phase.